Welcome to Meg's Motorcycle Journey, where we explore the world on two wheels. This channel will follow me on my journey to become a better rider and explore my love of all things motorcycles. What's up, guys? I had intended to do a different video this Sunday. We had originally taped some pretty cool footage of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, which is a normal thing for those of us that live in Maryland, but is a pretty cool thing for those of you that live elsewhere and are not familiar with it. We also taped some footage on the Ocean City Boardwalk, which is one of, or the most popular beach in the state of Maryland. We were going to make a video out of that, but unfortunately, due to our little GoPro mishap last time we rode, we weren't able to get any of the riding footage. So we will save that for another time, because we will absolutely be going back to the Eastern Shore, riding over the Bay Bridge, and exploring some other areas on the Eastern Shore, as well as attending Ocean City Bike Week or Bike Festival in September. So stay tuned for some of that footage. But since we weren't able to do that, Cameraman and I did actually work a really long day at the car wash, but then it was just too beautiful for us to not go out and ride, so we were able to get some of this footage. I've had a number of you ask me questions about my bike, including the new handlebars, the second set of new handlebars, and so I wanted to address some of your questions. So you will get an opportunity to see that in just a few minutes. Additionally, I had planned on a couple of cool rides that will be upcoming. One is that I plan to try to ride a sport bike. We have a good friend that has not yet been in any of our videos that has both a Harley and a sport bike, and he has offered to bravely allow me to attempt to ride the bike. So all of you sport bike fans and everybody out there telling me that I should try a sport bike, hopefully that is something that we will get to try in the next couple of weeks. Unfortunately, the weather here over the next few days to a week is not looking fantastic, which makes it pretty difficult for us to tape and to go do some of the things that we would like to do. Also, this pesky thing called my job sometimes gets in the way. I have a fairly busy court schedule over the next couple of weeks, so that also makes it difficult. But don't fear, we're still planning on visiting a couple cool places and checking out a couple cool things. And of course, I will be taking you guys along with us on the ride. I am also, as I mentioned, exploring my options for microphones. You guys have given me some good suggestions. I am going to potentially try a couple of different options. We may try some footage on the bike with me, probably forward-facing footage, as well as some voiceover footage with cameraman taping, or cameraman taping and me talking into the microphone while we ride. So we're looking into our options to find a microphone that can be on me while the camera is still on cameraman's bike, because that was one of the cool things that we wanted to do when we started this channel, which was give you the third person perspective, so that it was like you were riding with us next to us and could see us riding with you, as opposed to what is the typical moto vlog, which is first person perspective, where the camera is on the bike of the rider and not watching the rider. So when we started the channel, we thought it would be cool to do something a little bit different. So we still want to have that on our channel and have that be some of the spirit of our channel. So I'm looking into the best technology that will allow us to continue to do that. This is not the video we initially planned. We had something else planned to do today, but it didn't end up working out. So a number of you guys have asked for a closer look at my bike and at Cameraman's bike, and for us to walk you through some of the modifications that we've made to the bike. So as most of you know, I ride a 2020 Lowrider S. I traded in my 883 Sportster for this bike. Because I'm a girl and color's important to me. One thing that I wanted was a red bike. My Sportster was bricked red, which was a Harley color, and I loved that, so I wanted something pretty close to that. So the very first thing I did, I think 10 days after I bought this bike, because it only comes stock in silver and black, or in 2021 it did, was have this custom painted. So I had a guy by the name of Sean Glass, and he has an Instagram page called Paint Glassworks. He really does an amazing job. He paints cars, he paints bikes, very talented, was incredibly reasonable, easy to work with, had it done in less than a week, which was, super impressive. So I would highly recommend him. The second thing I did was get this custom decal made. The decal was made by a company called Mongo's Custom Accents. You can find them on Facebook. So I'm actually considering, I think I'm probably going to this year get this design painted on the tank. But I wanted to try the decal first just to see if I liked it before I committed to getting it painted. But I told him I was a rose girl and I wanted roses, but I still wanted it to look like a Harley. So he did a really great job with that. I'm really happy with how that turned out. He actually also does other types of decals. He's helped us out with our car wash business. He's done decals, vehicle magnets, other cool things, and you'll see in a few minutes that he did a decal for Cameraman's bike as well. So after I did the paint job and I did the decal, the next thing I did, as many of you guys know, because you probably watched the video, is the custom sissy bar. The sissy bar is by Edward Ritchie. He was also great to work with. I reached out to him on Etsy, told him that I wanted a rose to match the decal and that I was a rose girl. And so we worked together to sort of come up with this design. And he was really responsive and did a great job. So you guys watched the install of that. The next thing I did, you guys know the drama, I think, of my handlebars, because I've sort of been telling you guys, but I wanted to have new bars. I didn't want the stock bars for a number of reasons. I wanted to have better control on slow maneuvers. I wanted to be more comfortable on long rides. I have circulation issues, so I would get very numb. A lot of people ask about why I hang my arms down, and that's because I get numb, tingly arms a lot of times when I'm riding. So having the bars in a more comfortable position is huge for me. And I have really enjoyed having them. I started out trying the mini apes that came stock on the Harley Street Bob. They were still a little bit too far away from me, so Cameraman had gotten these for his bike and they didn't end up working out, and he still had them, so we decided to give them a shot on my bike. They are the Reapers, and they're 12 inches, because a couple of you have specifically asked me that. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Right before that, as many of you guys know, from watching my install video, I got these slip-ons from Chromeworks. I asked them for this matte black to match the rest of my bike, because there's a lot of matte black on my bike. So I really like them. It's nice to have some sound for both safety and performance. Some of you guys have asked me what they sound like, so I will turn it on for you so you can hear. As you guys know, stock pipes are super quiet, so it's pretty nice to have a little bit more sound. So I'm going to try to walk you through Cameraman's bike. He's probably going to have to help me. But as many of you guys know, he rides a 2017 Breakout, and he has done a lot of modifications to it as well. What did you start with, Michael? You said you started with the hand grips,
the grips, the mirrors, and my levers. I replaced when I first got the bike.
They're all Harley, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I just basically got rid of the chrome stuff and went black, and then put hand grips on.
And then after that, you did the Harley air filter, right? The Screaming Eagle air filter.
Well, I did the pipes, the Vance and Hine big radius pipes that was the Screaming Eagle cone and the FP3 player all at the same time.
And those were pretty soon after you got the bike, right?
Yeah, it's like.
And then Sissy Bar?
Giddens Choppers does a lot of really cool stuff. I think that's the 12-inch Scorpion. Oh, no, 14-inch Scorpion. Dougie has a smaller one.
And then you did...
The Pro Beam LED lights.
Yeah, the LED lights on the front, right?
Yeah.
That was last year, right?
Last year.
And then... this year, made by the same company that made my decal. He made Cameraman this decal. They are Mongoose Custom Accents, and you can find them on Facebook. So I will turn on Cameraman's bike so you have a chance to hear what his pipes sound like. You're going to have to get closer, I think, Mike. There you go. I hope that answers a lot of your guys' questions, because I do get a lot of those questions on Instagram and private messenger asking me, about bars and about different aspects of our bikes. So hopefully that cleared up some stuff for you guys. As you guys also know, I do want to do some other improvements. So I really want to get a new seat. I want a 2-up seat so I can take my kiddos on it. When we were in Daytona, we ended up just having to get this suction cup little seat, but I'm really hoping to get a Corbin, mainly because they have red stitching and I can get snake skin, and I'm a girl and I like that. And then I'm also going to do a lay down license plate, because I really hate how this sticks up. I was actually looking at those last night. Those are fairly affordable, so I should be able to get one of those in the next couple days. And a lot of you actually offered some pretty helpful suggestions, but if anybody has any ideas, I'm going to order that in the next couple of days. So those are two of the last remaining upgrades that I want to make for now. I've considered heated hand grips, or even just different hand grips, maybe some black levers, because I do like Cameraman's black levers better than mine. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and you learned a little bit, and stay tuned. We will have another video on Thursday. Thanks, guys. Taking them for the tour.
Mm-hmm. It's a sexy bike.
I always tell people it's your favorite thing to look at. So hopefully that was educational, because a lot of you have asked me questions, especially recently, about the handlebars. I had to check in with Cameraman about what type they were before I could tell you guys. And then also I've had questions about the slip-ons. Even though I did the video, a couple people have asked me about that change, and some people have just said, could you give us a closer look at your bike and walk us through what you've done? So I wanted to take an opportunity to do that. Tons of people also love Cameraman's bike. I love his bike. It's my favorite bike after my own. I think he's done some cool stuff with it, and I think that he has kept sort of the classic look of the Breakout, but made it his own, which is what I think having a bike is all about, customizing it to what you want it to be. I'm still working on that, obviously, for mine, but I am pretty happy with where I've come in not even a year. I am coming up on, in about a month and a week or two, the 1-year anniversary of owning this bike. And this bike has been incredibly good to me in that year. I have gone to, I think, 6 different states, and I plan to obviously ride in a bunch more. I've talked to you guys about some of that this year. I am at about 9,000 miles. I might cross over to 10,000 before the year mark. We'll see. As I mentioned, we plan to take some trips, and we will actually leave for Myrtle Beach Bike Week right before the 1-year mark of me owning this bike. So once we go to Pennsylvania in a few weeks and then to Myrtle Beach, I may cross over the 10,000 mile mark for my first year. I think that in that time, I have become far more comfortable on this bike. I've also become a much better rider. A lot of you have commented on the videos that I taped training with Jerry Palladino, which was an awesome experience, and I learned a lot. And it gave me a ton more confidence on slow maneuvers and things like U-turns. But I also think that small things I've made a huge improvement on. When I first got this bike, things like parking and taxiing the bike were a struggle for me, and I have learned. Cameraman has helped me, as well as our friends Doug and John have given me some helpful pointers as to how to do that more effectively, given the fact that the bike is a good sized bike and I'm a pretty tiny girl. So I was just remarking to Cameraman today that I used to just pull into a parking lot and look for the closest available parking spot, but I now pull in and think ahead of time about what will be the best place for me to get out of that parking spot, which is important because if the parking spot is on an incline or a hill, it's possible that I would have a very difficult time, since I can barely flat foot, backing the bike out uphill. So I have learned to mitigate that issue by making sure that I am pulling into a parking space where I can either back into that space so that I can just drive straight out, or that the space is at an incline so that when I'm backing out, it's easy for me to roll the bike backwards. So small improvements like that. But I think I've also improved on my general road and street riding. I have a lot more confidence. I'm a lot more comfortable. So for those of you that have asked, and a lot of you have asked that, just recently started riding a bike, how did I become more comfortable? And I became more comfortable by riding close to 10,000 miles in a year. I also became more comfortable just with time. Over the course of the last year and a half, it'll be 2 years, at the end of the summer, I have consciously worked on my skills. I have made a point to ride as much as I can in as many different situations as I can, so that I became more comfortable, because I loved riding a motorcycle, but I wanted to do it well. And by no means am I claiming to be an expert, but I have made vast improvements in a year. I'm proud of myself for that. I'm proud of how far I've come and everything I've done to the bike. So thanks for watching, guys. Tune in on Thursday, and until next time, ride safe, and don't forget to like and subscribe.